Melody, this show would not even exist. It was her idea, it was her concept, and it was her vision that brought the entire cast together. And the fact that she has left the show gracefully, moved on with her life, built her businesses, and kept thriving only shows how powerful she is. Melody has been doing everything right outside of the show. But when you look at what's happening inside the show since she left, woo chow, it's a mess. The storylines are empty, the drama feels forced, and the cast is just throwing anything at the wall hoping it sticks. That's why so many fans are saying cancel it now, because what's left without Melody? Nothing. And let's talk about Martell Holt for a minute because, baby, this man has been the common denominator in most of the drama from day one. Martell, also known as Fire Marshal Martell or Mr. Markdown Martell, has been fighting for his life trying to stay relevant on this show. But here's the truth. Martell doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the stability, and he definitely doesn't have the storyline to carry this show anymore. What he does have is mess, confusion, and drama that continues to spiral out of control. And if you've been paying attention, you know Martell has been trying to drag Ariane Curry into the mix too, which only makes things worse. Fans are already predicting that producers are looking for a way to slide Ariane in because they know the ratings are slipping. But let's be honest, if Melody walked away, why in the world should Ariane be brought in? It just doesn't make sense. And if the producers think that will save the show, they're even more desperate than we thought. Now, let me pull y'all into this point because this is where things start getting ridiculous. Carlos King, the executive producer, has been playing favorites from the very beginning. He gives certain cast members the ability to be selectively transparent. That means they get to decide what they want to talk about on the show, what they want to hide, and what they don't want to address at all. Meanwhile, everything that happened between Melody and Martell was laid out for the world to see. Every lie, every betrayal, every tear, and every scandal played out right in front of the cameras. And honestly, it feels like that was the only thing keeping the show alive. So when Melody decided to walk away, the life and soul of the show walked away with her. And now, instead of genuine storylines, we're left with filler content and recycled drama. For example, let's talk about Marsau Scott and Letitia Tisha Scott. I mean, come on. Marsau stays throwing shade, making slick comments, and trying to play this role of the sarcastic, smooth-talking guy. But what exactly are Marsau and Tisha really bringing to the table? Their storylines are dry, their marriage drama has been dragged out for years, and fans are over it. And the craziest part is, every time they had the chance to show their real issues, they danced around it. They picked and choose what to show. And that selective transparency is exactly what's killing the show. Fans don't feel connected to them because they know half the truth is being left out. Without realness, there's no reason to watch. Then you've got Kimmy Scott and Marie Scott. And listen, no disrespect, but what are they really giving us? Kimmy, bless her heart, has been through some tough things and shared part of her journey. But as far as storylines go, it's not enough to keep fans glued to the screen. And Maurice, Lord have mercy. He's just there. It feels like he doesn't bring anything exciting, dramatic, or even entertaining to the show. The dynamic between them doesn't have the spark, and when you compare that to the fireworks we used to see when Melody and Martell's marriage was crumbling, it just doesn't hit the same. And then you've got Destiny Payton. Now this is where things get really messy because Destiny has been caught in the middle too many times. She doesn't want to pick sides between Martell and the Scotts, but let's be real. Destiny has always been closely tied to Martell. Fans have often speculated that her loyalty to Martell has clouded her judgment and put her at odds with Melody. And with Melody gone, Destiny is left trying to hold on to something, but it's just not working. People aren't connecting with her storylines, and once again, the energy just feels off. But here's the hook. Don't click off just yet because we haven't even gotten to the worst part. You need to stick with me until the very end because I'm going to tell you why this show should absolutely be canceled and why dragging it out any longer is just painful for the fans and embarrassing for the cast. So picture this, season 10, episode 5. I didn't even watch the first 4 episodes because, let's be real, who has the energy for this cold pizza show? But when I tuned in just to see what was happening, I was shocked at how boring it was. The opening scene showed Nell and Chris, or was it Lance? I can't even keep track, talking about babysitting and helping out with the baby. That's it. That's the scene. Nell saying she'd be willing to stay 2 nights a week to help with the baby because the baby has gotten attached. Now tell me, is that a love and marriage in Huntsville storyline? Or is that just pure filler content that should have never made it past editing? Nobody cares about babysitting arrangements. Nobody is tuning in for that. It's not entertaining, it's not dramatic, and it's not even funny. It's just flat. And this is exactly what fans mean when they say the show has nothing left. The producers are throwing random filler at us, hoping somebody eats it up. But it's like a buffet of leftovers. You know, when you've got pizza that was once hot, cheesy, and delicious, but you leave it in the fridge and then you reheat it over and over again, eventually it just becomes tasteless, rubbery, and unappealing. That's exactly what this show feels like now. It was once fresh and juicy when Melody and Martell's drama was front and center, but now it's leftovers being reheated every episode, and the flavor is gone. It's time to throw it in the trash. And don't even get me started on how they keep trying to stir up fake drama with Destiny, the Scotts, and Martell. It's like watching people throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Nothing is connecting, nothing is sparking interest, and fans are literally saying they would rather go to a dentist appointment, get a root canal, or even sit through a boring pap smear than watch this cold pizza mess. That's how bad it's gotten. But let's keep it real. People are still watching. Why? Because it's like driving past a car accident. You don't want to see it, you know it's gruesome, but you can't help but slow down and look. That's the only reason people are still tuning in, to see if the show will finally collapse, to see if the snakes will start devouring each other, and to see if the predictions everyone made about the downfall without Melody will come true. And guess what? Those predictions are already happening. The ratings are dropping, the cast is turning on each other, and the producers are scrambling to save something that's already dead. And before you click off, let me say this again. You need to stay tuned until the end, because we're going to break down exactly how this show went from a powerhouse of reality TV to a watered-down mess that needs to be canceled immediately. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So let's get into the real question. How did we even get here? How did a show that once had fans glued to their screens every Saturday night turn into something people barely care to tweet about anymore? The answer is simple. When you build a show on authenticity and then replace it with fake drama, you lose the magic. Love and Marriage in Huntsville used to be about real people chasing real dreams, juggling love, business, and betrayal in a way that felt honest. But now, it feels like we're watching a scripted soap opera where everyone forgot their lines. And the saddest part is, the downfall started the moment they stopped protecting the one person who made the show worth watching, Melody. Let's not sugarcoat it. Melody was the heart of Love and Marriage in Huntsville. She brought vision, vulnerability, and a level of class that balanced out all the chaos. When she hurt, the audience hurt. When she succeeded, the audience celebrated. That's rare in reality TV. You don't get that kind of emotional connection often. But what did the producers do? They drained every ounce of that magic by letting Martell's toxicity overshadow everything. And the irony? Martell still thinks he's the main character. He doesn't realize that the show was never about his ego. It was about Melody's evolution. She was the storyline. She was the light. She built the brand from the ground up. And now that she's gone, Martell is just a man wandering around a set of ghosts. Ghosts of the people he hurt, ghosts of the life he ruined, ghosts of the empire that slipped through his fingers. You can see it in his interviews. You can hear it in his voice. Martell's not confident anymore. He's combative. He's not charismatic. He's chaotic. He's desperate to stay relevant, but he doesn't realize that the audience has moved on. They're not buying what he's selling. Because once you expose yourself as the villain and refuse to change, there's no redemption arc left to sell. Now, let's talk about Carlos King for a second, because, baby, this man is trying to pull off CPR on a show that's already flatlined. Carlos has been known to chase ratings over substance, and while that might work short term, it's killing the long game. Fans are stupid. They can tell when producers are forcing drama. They can tell when a storyline has been staged in the editing room. And when you lose the trust of your audience, you lose everything. People used to watch LAMH and feel something. Now they're just watching out of habit. That's how bad it's gotten. You scroll through Twitter or YouTube comments and it's the same thing everywhere. Carlos needs to let this show go, bring Melody back, or just end it. This ain't love and marriage no more. It's just mess and misery, Huntsville. And honestly, they're not wrong. Because what are we really watching at this point? Marsau and Tisha playing the same trust issue storyline we've seen since season 1, Destiny sitting on screen talking in circles but never giving us anything real, Martell walking around pretending to be the victim while his entire life is collapsing in public. It's like reruns of a show that doesn't even know it's over yet. And here's the wildest part. When your audience starts asking for the show to end, that's the loudest wake-up call you can get. And let's be real, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe Love and Marriage Huntsville ending would finally give everyone the closure they need. Melody could keep building her empire, Martell could finally face his reality, the Scotts could figure out their next moves, and fans could remember the show for what it used to be, not the watered-down mess it's become. Because at this point, the only love left on this show is the love fans have for what it used to be.